Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome, welcome to the Lady Lighthouse channel. Welcome back, Janine Lilly. Good to see you. Good to see you again. How is everyone doing? Before we get started, just dropping into the space. I know I did this morning the collective energy card poll, and posted that on YouTube since I've kind of shifted my schedule around. And then I have a little candle going today just to be in the space to help. Is there anything else that was coming through that was extra support? My rose crystal. My rose crystal is kind of still lingering with us. She's been chilling on the desk, so she's lots of love here in the space, as well as again my crystal that's representing Archangel Gabriel. Love his support. So we got the masculine, feminine coming in, and then also one of the cards that I pulled this morning for the collective, excuse me, is this Ten of Cups but upside down. And so feeling like I should highlight that too before we get started with the message of, making sure you're filling up your cup first and foremost. There's lots of energy shifting right now. There's lots of light codes pouring in, and there's a lot of abundance and all sorts of just like information coming in. And so making sure that we're focusing on our energy, our self-care first and foremost. And this is also very pertinent for me because even just this morning, I was getting ready, or I was just like kind of starting my day, and I turned the shower on as I was like gonna start getting ready to go, and my body's like, no, take a bath. I was like, I don't know, I have some things I want to get done, and they're like, take a bath. And I started to ignore it, and I went in and I like started to get in the shower, and I was like in the shower, and I could feel myself getting more and more irritated the more I was in the shower. I was like, fine, I'm gonna go take a bath, because clearly trying to take a shower and trying to like start my day in a speedy way today was not in the cards for me, or did not feel good. And so I turned the shower off, went and ran a bath, threw some Epsom salt in, gave myself that nice 45 minutes to an hour. And then I was much calmer. I was like, oh, okay. I was much calmer. I was much ready to take on the day. And thank you, Janine. I've had an amazing week. It's been good. There's been great lots of great like downloads and things that have been coming through for me this week, and it feels really good. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be making progress each day towards whatever it is I'm building towards, but it feels good. All right, let me tune in and see what kind of work might be in resonance with you this morning. Okay. It feels like the trapped emotion clearing, like a mini trapped emotion clearing. So, how that works, I'm not sure if you were here yesterday, but how that works is I'm basically talking to your higher self, and I'll be, talking out loud my questions and the answers I'm getting, and it's calling forward any trapped emotion that might be ready to be released, and then seeing if there's any information that you might need to know before checking to see if it's safe to clear. And if it's safe to clear, we'll use Reiki to clear that trapped emotion for you. And if it's not safe to clear, we'll either see if there's more information you need to know or move on. How does that sound? Cool. All right. Well, this one doesn't require my big prayer, so this will just be I'll name the trapped emotion that's coming forward, So you'll get to know, and then I'll I'll check in to see if there's any additional details you might need to know about it before we clear it. Perfect. All right. I invite you just to take a deep breath here. Just gonna bring through whatever is in the highest and best for Janine Lily. Invite any trapped emotion that is ready to be released to come forward. Hearing sorrow from a current life or past life. Current life. Does Janine Lily need to know more? Yes, what does Janine Lily need to know? It's in her heart. It's in her hands. It's in her eyes. Is it safe to clear? Getting no. Is there more? Is there more that needs to be shared here? Yes. What needs to come forward? There's a pain around your mother. Can you provide any additional details about what this pain is? Or is there any additional information she needs to know? Hearing no. Is it safe to be cleared? Yes. Okay. Janine Lily, I invite you to just take a few deep breaths here as we're clearing sorrow that's lingering in relation to your mother. Clearing from your heart, your hands, your eyes. Are there any other trapped emotions that would like to come forward and are ready to be released? Yes, what trapped emotion? Harm. Is that from a current life or past life? Past life. Is it hers, like harm done to a past version of herself, or a harm done to another relative that's passed on? So it's harm passed on from a past loved one. Does she need to know more? No. Is it safe to clear? Yes. Take a few deep breaths. We're clearing this harm that's not yours, that you've been carrying, brought through from another life. Letting it go. Are there any other trapped emotions ready to be released today? Yes, what trapped emotion would like to come forward? Anger, is it from a current life or past life? Current life. Does she need to know more? Yes, what does she need to know? It's in your face, it's in your cheeks, it's in your jaw, it's in your nose. It's in your ears. It's in your forehead between the eyes, your eyebrows. Does she need to know more? No. Is it safe to clear? Yes. Okay. Take a few deep breaths here. Clearing that anger that's living in your face, that's living in your eyebrows and your forehead, between your eyes, your cheeks and your jaw, and in your ears, letting that go. Are there any other trapped emotions today? No. Okay. I'm sending you so much love and light, Janine Lily, as I send your energy back to you. Call my energy back to me. Thank you, your higher self, and our teams for coming forward, helping you release what no longer serves you. Namaste. Welcome back, Light Seeker. Yeah, you're welcome. And how was it for you, Janine? Seemed intense, I guess. Was it intense sensations coming up for like in your body, or just the you think the like the naming of the trapped emotions were intense? Yeah, just in your mind, recognizing all the trapped emotions. I invite you to view those trapped emotions and the releasing of the trapped emotions and whatever their names were, with kindness and compassion. It's, I think, I don't know, I'm very particular about words at times, and using the word intense feels like there's some judgment there, and so I invite you to release that judgment and just honor what emotions came up. They're all human, they're all natural, and it's okay to have them. It's okay to let them go too. But I'm glad it overall was like it felt like a calm experience. Mm. Welcome to the chat, Chemical Soup. Yeah. Oh, the sorrow bit about your mom made you worried. It could be, what did I say? Was that from a current life? Um, yeah, and it could be something. And well, maybe they didn't share too many more details about it because it's not something you need to carry anymore. It was something that was lingering within you, and your subconscious was holding on to it. So it could have been something very, very young. It could have been something from your childhood that happened that was like that might have wounded a part of your inner child, and you might not have been aware of it, and that's okay. Allow that to allow that to go and continue to share in that beautiful deep bond that you have with your mom. And Chemical Soup, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm grateful to be here. I'm excited to be here, and it's a little bit of a overcast day. I love I love the sun a bit more when it's out, but uh, it's going well. Ooh. I mean, I'm all ears if you want to share what it might be, Janine Lily, but if you don't, that is totally up to you. Don't share beyond what you're comfortable with. But I'm glad that something might have come up. Mm, yes, longing for a presence. Yeah, yeah, that's totally understandable. Having having our parents, try to juggle being a parent and also being, our providers. So it's it's something every parent has to go through and figure out, and it's something every child is going to have to or be challenged with in their own way. So it definitely makes sense that could cause some lingering wounds. I'm glad you were able to recognize that today and recognize that like I said, your higher self came forward today and was like, you know what? It's okay to let this go now. It's okay to honor that. Yeah. Mm, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. If you're just tuning in, I am doing readings. If you feel called, do make sure I'll drop the consent thing in here. Maybe I'll just add that to a timer so that way every, I don't know, 20 or so minutes that comes through, just because I want to make sure people know what they're consenting to. There we go. Added to the timer. I appreciate that, Lily, the kind words saying that I have a wonderful gift. It took work to develop, and I believe we all are capable of communicating with energies. We're all capable of communicating with source. We're all capable of communicating with our higher selves. It's just, and I encourage everyone to go on that journey, whatever that looks like for them. And my biggest thing is just do so do so in kindness, do so humbly, do so um, in service of yourself and of others and of spirit. So, and do so with consent. Always consent, always consent. All right. Am I good to tune into Light Seeker? Let's see. Okay. Light Seeker, I'm also feeling called to do a similar thing of what we just did with Janine Lilly. So, doing the trapped emotion release. So, basically, what I'll do is it's not the big opening prayer that I've typically do. It's I'll tune into you and ask your whatever's the highest and best, and then I'll talk to your higher self. Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure for last time. Uh, but I'll ask your higher self to come forward, uh, and then I'll just relay everything that's coming through. But if you ever want to withdraw your consent, all you gotta do is type in chat like you withdraw and or set your intention to withdraw, and I can always pull back and send your energy back immediately. So, okay. Whatever is in the highest and best for Light Seeker. Are there any trapped emotions that would like to come forward and are ready to be released? Yes, what trapped emotion might that be? Heartbreak. Is that from a current life or past life? Current life. Do they need to know more? Yes, what do they need to know? Your dad wasn't the best man. Do they need to know anything else? Feels like no. Are they. Is it safe to clear? Yes. All right, Light Seeker, take a few deep breaths as we're clearing this heartache as it relates to your father. It's heartbreak. Yeah, it was a father wound that was coming through in that last one. It was just the emotion was heartbreak. Are there any other trapped emotions that are ready to be released? Getting no. Is there any other messages you would like to relay while we're in this space together? Yes, what would you like to relay? Your heart is pure. Your heart is pure. Your heart is pure. Is there anything else? No. Okay. Sending your energy back to you, Light Seeker, and calling my energy back to me. Thank you for showing up here in this space today and your higher self coming through and inviting you to release what no longer serves you. Sending you love and light. Namaste. Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thanks for showing up in this space today. I really appreciate it. If you're feeling called, I invite you to donate. And for anyone else that's tuning in, I'm doing live readings. My little nightbot comes through every so often, or you can type command or the exclamation point consent and chat just to see what it is you're consenting to. But the readings are anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, depending on what feels resonant, what feels what serves your highest and best in this moment. And I might not necessarily do everyone. Sometimes spirit is like, it's not time. All right, chemical soup. Let me parse that real quick. So you were always complaining about parents' attention and presence. And then you realized you're not a victim. And then you're starting to kind of tune into what version of you has been playing victimhood. Welcome to the chat, Suffy Pop. Chemical soup. You lost me a little bit near the end of your commentary, or like at the end of your comment there. And what I am gathering from it, and what I will comment on, is I think it's good to recognize that you're not a victim. And also, I would encourage you to be gentle with that part of yourself, because the victim mentality is part of you, is part of your ego self. It is part of your survival mind that was helping keep you safe or protect you in some capacity. So I would invite you to meet that part of you with some more compassion and more love and less judgment and less criticism. And also, it's great to know that you are, you recognize that it's like, no, you don't need to live in victimhood anymore. Like, that is a powerful step. So well done. All right, Suffy Pop, let me tune in and see what feels right for you today. Okay, we're feeling oracle cards. So let me grab my deck. Since you're new, welcome. I use the Shaman's Dream Oracle. It was a gift to me by my coach, and I don't know. I love it. It's great. All right. We'll just bring through whatever's in your highest and best, and we'll go from there. Okay. Whatever is in Suffy Pop's highest and best. Ooh. We had 2 cards pop out. All right, I was just checking to see if there was any more, but it's just the 2. All right. First and foremost, we have Skybridge, possibility for union. Let me make sure I can see myself over here. Ooh, this feels like you're on a quest for something really good, and it doesn't necessarily need to. Well, you're on a quest for love. But I'm also feeling drawn to not necessarily say love with a particular person in relationship. It feels like a quest for love with capital L, love, and being in divine union with love. Also, with the colors of this card and what's coming through really strongly is very much that like solar plexus down into the sacral chakra region of just like so much power and pleasure and passion that's coming through, as well as a really nice balance between the 2 towers. So you're on this quest, but it feels like a very balanced quest. There might be this gap here is signifying to me that there might be like a really big first step that you need to take, and then after that the steps get closer together. The steps get easier to navigate, but there's a bigger jump that you're going to need to take, or that you're taking now that you're going to need to take in this quest for love. And I also want to highlight the number 7. The number 7 is coming through really strongly there. So I will leave that for you. And then the other one that's coming through is number 44, Perfect Storm, the courage to step into life. And I think this is a beautiful addition to Skybridge, given the fact that there is like a bigger leap, a bigger step that you're needing to take. This card is almost like you're in the exact right place you need to be, and you have the courage to do it. You have the courage to make that big leap. You have the courage, you have the heart, you have the power, you have the divine support to overcome whatever that obstacle may be that's in your path on your quest to love. And again, capital L, love. So you're right where you need to be. You're doing great. You're doing great. Keep up the great work, Suffy Pop. I'll hold those up one more time just in case you wanted to take a screenshot or just see them. And as I'm doing this, I also feel like I should highlight number 44 in the top corner of Perfect Storm. That's also an angel number, so there's lots of 4s in these cards. All right. Oh, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for letting me read for you. I'm sending your energy back to me, or sending your energy back to you, and then calling my energy back to me. Oh my gosh, I love that you've been seeing 44 the last 2 days. The divine works in amazing ways. I was gonna say mysterious ways. Sometimes it's mysterious, but I think I love like that synchronicity is beautiful. I'm glad that came through in the reading for you too. You're welcome. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the chat. Glad to have you here. Let me see if there's a message that's wanting to come through for collective right now. I am wearing a hoodie, and I do have ice in my water bottle. I usually don't drink a lot of, in the past I didn't drink a lot of ice water, but I don't know, some point in this last month or so, ice water has tasted extra good. Probably has something to do with like the crystalline structure of ice cubes for me. I don't know, something in that vein. As for how long I've been reading for, reading for others, I would like reading for others in a giving, offering way, or even a paid way. I'd say only for several. Hold on. Like 6 months ish. Is that true? I think that's about true. But I've been kind of on my own healing journey and tapping into my intuition and tapping into my gifts since, well, I've really been on my journey to healing for about like I think I'm at like 4 years now, 5 years now, but like there's 3 years of like really dense crap to work through, uh, of like getting back into my body. And then really the like last year of that healing journey was more about, okay, now that I've broken out of survival mode, going with whatever is actually like calling my heart, my spirit. Maybe it's probably closer to 2 years that I've been like in that vein. And so, why did I choose this path? I was gonna say, well, I didn't choose this path. This path chose me. Because honestly, I started. So I have an engineering degree. I have a bachelor of science in biosystems and agricultural engineering, and then I also have an MBA. And I left like out of school. I went into home construction. I built some home. Like I was the field manager for like building homes, and then I went and worked at a software company for a bit where I uh, was basically the like subject matter expert on how that software worked. And so I trained a lot of our internal users, and I did a lot of testing on it and that kind of stuff. Um, and then it was just I got burnt out. Like during my career time, I was not not really enjoying what I was doing or how I was giving back. Or I did a little bit in the beginning, but it like faded fairly quickly. And I was I was focusing on healing again my own internal burnout, my own internal like stress, uh, getting back into my body out of survival mode. And as I broke out of survival mode, that's when like my soul lit up, and it was like, we need to do something else. And in I think it was December of 2023 was when um, I was like starting to make plans for the new year. I was like, I really want to do something. I had a feeling that I could be paid for being myself, and I had a feeling that the world needed me for me. I didn't know exactly what that would look like, but I just knew in my like internal reflection or even like journaling, because I did the thing that's like ikigai. It's a Japanese term, but it's like 4 Venn diagrams that you basically go, and it's like, all right, what does the world need? What are you good at? Like, what do you like doing? And what can you be paid for or something? I don't know. Somewhere I did that as an exercise, and I was like, I can get paid for being myself. Yeah. I didn't know how at that time. Uh, and so all of 2024 leading into now, it was just like that was that development is like it started with Ikigai and it's just transitioned into now I'm a psychic channeler, an energy transmuter. So that's fun. So to answer your question on why I chose this path, this is the path that lights me up. This is the path that I felt called to follow, the path I felt called to walk, the path I felt called to uncover. It wasn't a very clearly defined path, that's for sure. Um, how or when did I realize I could transmute energy? A couple years ago, I was learning about like energy stuff in some of like my somatic movement stuff that I was learning. And so I knew you could move energy with breath, sound, and movement. And then as like it was very much something that like I intuited over time. It was like okay, I had the engineering background, so I understand how energy works. I understand how frequency works. I understand how um or at least I have a general understanding of how energy works in the electrical sense. And then I was intuitively guided throughout my healing to either go get energy work done on myself or do it on myself, or even in my dreams it like would happen. Like I'd get energy work given to me in the dreamscape. So it was just kind of a gradual waking up to that power for me. And then what's different now that you would not get burnt out? Now I recognize where my how my body is responding. So, hold on. Let me think about how I want to answer that. So when I got burnt out, it was because I was living in the normal societal way of okay, I need to get all of this stuff done at like I was putting a ton of pressure on myself at work and putting in a lot of extra time or energy and efforts that didn't really matter. It wasn't a life or death job. I wasn't a surgeon. Um, and I also wasn't slowing down whenever I left work. So I was always living in this state of like stress or hyperactivity or yeah, I kept my calendar really full. I kept my evenings really full. So it was like I'd leave work and then I'd go do something. And I never took the time to slow down and actually feel the emotions that were coming up and feel and release the emotions and energy and everything that was just kind of like building, building, building. And so it was just like this buildup of stress in my body. And I was sick all the freaking time. That was also partially how I realized I was getting burnt out. So I was sick all the freaking time. And now, as I've learned to slow down and honor my body and honor her wisdom that she's showing me and what she needs, and really loving myself enough to give her that space to process the emotions and give her that space to feed her the foods that are, nourishing for her and not just like fast and easy. Um, and not work to be honest, and not working in the corporate world is really nice because I set my own hours as my own uh, business, and so it's like that is kind of what helped me break out of burnout. and complete that stress cycle. It's really important to complete that stress cycle of, if you're noticing yourself in a state of stress and in a state of anxiety, or your mind's not won't stop talking to your, like, it won't stop talking to you, and you feel like you just like on edge, you got to complete the stress cycle. Breath, sound, or movement. So you either need to take some deep breaths or try some different breathing techniques. You need to make a sound or sounds or listen to some music or whatever. Or you need to move. It can be a gentle movement, it can be a stretch, it could be a physical, like more intense workout, but just like a couple minutes of just releasing whatever that got built up, and letting that go. Let's see. I think I answered how I realized my abilities. It was gradual. I just started to wake up to them, and then as I was developing, as I was starting to wake up to my abilities and what I had, or like the different information I was taking in about energy and healing and things that were a little more Eastern medicine versus Western medicine, because Western medicine had failed me for so long. That's when I just started to started to own, you know, who I was, and learning to trust in myself. And as you start to learn to trust yourself, that's when, more things come to light. And your strengths come out as you remind your body that you trust in who you are and who you know yourself to be. Because our society has done a great job at stripping that away from us and making us feel otherwise. So part of realizing your abilities is reclaiming your power of your autonomy and recognizing who you are as a person, and that you as an intuitive being is natural. You as a pleasure-filled being is natural. Like a joy-filled, love-filled being is natural. All right, next question. Do I have precognitive dreams? I don't use that word very often. Hold on. Yes. Okay, like psychic dreams? Okay. It's like, we are connected to our inner child here. We need to use simpler terms sometimes. Do I have psychic dreams sometimes? Yes. Yeah, yes. And part of my own journey to get here is learning that those psychic dreams are symbolic, are symbolic and not always literal. That was a lesson I had to learn the hard way, or a lesson that caused me lots of grief early on, because there was a period of time where I kept getting a dream that the partner I was with was gonna die, and like I knew I had another partner afterwards, but it was like I just kept getting this dream. I kept getting this feeling that it was like my partner was gonna die, and then someone else was gonna come in and take their place. But like whoever was coming in was, you know, this great love connection. Um, and yeah, that one really effed up the relationship a little bit. But it also, in reflection and in hindsight, what I should have taken away from that dream is that it wasn't that that person was going to die. It was that that relationship itself, how it was, needed to die for the next phase, or that next deeper love connection to form. So learning to speak the symbols of your team is definitely something we all have to overcome, in our own way. But that's just one example. I've had other ones about like money and whatever else. Uh, you have an illegal question and asking how old am I? Do I want to share my age? I don't think I want to share my age. How old do you think I am? All right. You think I'm 31? I'll take that. I'm not going to tell you whether you're right or wrong, though. But I will say I'm okay if you think I'm 31. What's my opinion on soulmates? Good question. No, I appreciate you asking questions. No need to apologize. I I believe in soulmates, and also I believe you can have more than one soulmate, though. And the reason I say this is because I've honestly fairly recently had an experience whenever I was doing kind of an energetic release of stuff that no longer serves me into a bonfire. I actually had the name of a previous lover come up, and I didn't like mentally I didn't necessarily recognize it when it came through, but like in my heart I felt it when I had their name come through, and I was like, it's like, oh, who is this? And a lot of the information I got was, or the little bit of information I got was just that it was a lover from a past life or from past lives that my soul was still connected to, and but it felt like it was time to release that connection for, you know, it felt like they had moved on and they were happy, and I've also moved on and I am happy, and so it felt like a clearing of that connection for the strengthening of my current one. And that said, I do feel like my current connection is also a soulmate connection. So yeah. So like I said, I think it's possible to have soulmates, or I do believe in them, but I also believe that you can have more than one. If I ever drown in the eyes of someone else. I'm just noticing how my body feels when I read that. That like brought up a somber feeling. Yeah, at least in how I'm interpreting that, I would say yeah. Hmm. Interesting question. Ah, see, I did not interpret your question in that way. I interpreted your question as a little more sorrowful, whereas if I've like have I made someone else like cry was more of how I interpreted it. But have I ever had someone's eyes pull me in? Oh, Yeah, totally. I That's why I actually kind of appreciate showing up in this setting, because eye contact for me is a very personal thing. So, most people I talk to, when I'm talking to them, if I'm just kind of like chatting and telling stories, like I can't look you in the eye. Like I gotta kind of like look around, because the eye contact is too intense. Like that energy transfer in the eyes is too intense. But yeah, there are certain people though, and there's certain energies that I'm in. If I'm feeling really fiery and really like in my power, like don't don't fuck with me, then I'm like, you bet your ass I'm staring you in the eyes. uh, and it's a much more like challenging eye contact. So, but yeah, otherwise, yeah, I'm very, my eye contact and looking in people's eyes is very intentional. Uh, since I do energy transmutation, am I also a manifester? Are you using manifester in the way of like human design manifester? Because I'm a Manny Gen, if that's your question. Or if you're doing it as in, can I manifest things out of thin air? Um, okay, human design, great. I was like, can I do things out of thin air? Uh, yes and no. I don't know. That's something I'm playing with. We'll see. But yeah, definitely my human design is Manny Gen. And when I'm not in alignment with myself, I am in frustration. Which checks out, honestly. Checks out a lot. Hmm. Yeah, I the concept of manifesting and whether you can do it instantly versus like waiting different periods is something that I've been it's something that's been bobbling around in my mind recently, and there's there's some thoughts of like, okay, you just need to express gratitude and get out of your own way and like just believe it's real. Like believe it's here, it's happening. And then there's the other part of me that's like freaks out a little bit where it's like, oh, is this jumping into a different timeline? Or it's like it's my science brain really that comes into play. My science brain is really like, okay, if we're gonna like if I take bread for example, it's like, okay, I want to manifest bread. It's like, okay, do I need to imagine that that bread is like, here are all the ingredients and here are all the chemicals and here are all of the protons, neutrons, electrons, whatever atoms that are in this bread forming into the shape of the bread in this exact moment. And I'm like, can I feel the texture of it? Can I feel the ingredient? Like, is it that? Or is it, okay, I'm making all, like, I'm imagining myself, I'm taking all of the ingredients and I'm putting it in a mixing bowl. And then I'm, you know, letting it rise. And then I'm baking it. And then next time I open my pantry, it's just going to be there. Like, let me tell you, I haven't figured it out yet. But bread is the thing that I am experimenting with. And also, the other thing with like manifesting too is I do believe that there is some amount of there's some amount of like feeling the energy out there. It's there, it exists. There is a reality that that is like exists. And also there's some amount of like, okay, there's actions that you need to take to get there, or like you got to align with that version of yourself. So I don't know. That's a lot of conversation for to answer that manifesting is not something that I have cracked the code on. Manifesting works for you, but it always comes in weirdly never clean. Yeah, like being psychic, I can feel the energy. I can feel the blessings. I can feel the goodness coming. I can usually feel or sense what's, yeah, like I said, I can sense what's coming. Um, but the time frame of when it's coming can change. So whenever I tune in, it's like, okay, I might get something. Like it might feel like it's coming in, you know, a couple months, and that can change. Um, and sometimes things have been like right on schedule. And so, but usually something doesn't happen until it's like, okay, I feel it coming, and then I forget that it's coming. Like just the other day, I have my like my free spirit hoodies. I'm not wearing mine today, but I have my free spirit hoodies, and I was wearing it out, and for like a couple weeks, maybe it was like since I got them, like a couple weeks, I've been being like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the day that someone just like notices it, like out in public, out in the wild, and someone comments on it. Like I was super excited for that. I was like, I can't wait for that day. And I had totally forgotten that I had kind of threw that thought out there into the universe. And then it happened this past Sunday. I had someone comment on it, and I almost didn't even recognize that it happened until I was driving home from the place that I was. And I was like, it happened. I was like, wait a second. So, you can manifest in random ways, but it's like once you release the resistance to it, that's usually when it comes. Oh, that's funny. It was very sweet. Yeah. My only like feedback for myself is like I need to make sure I have my business cards on me, because when the woman commented on it, she's like, "Oh, do you have a business card?" Because I was like telling her, I was like, "Oh, I made the design," and I was like, "No, actually, I don't." uh, but it was a very exciting moment. I like these questions. This is good. But thank you for stopping in, Sophie Pop. I hope to see you again. I appreciate the well wishes. Oh, chemical soup. Sometimes whatever I'm thinking happens sooner or later somehow. Yep, that's about sums it up. That's why I try to focus on thinking positive thoughts. I'm not saying I never think negative thoughts. I just try not to hang out there too long, because I don't necessarily want to build up more negativity in my space. I would rather feel it, honor it, let it move through, and then get back to get back to feeling good. Or if you're familiar with Abraham Hicks, like get back in the vortex. I have 0 human kids. I have 2 kitty animal companions and 2 dog animal companions. Yeah. Yeah, I use the conscious mother, and I call myself mother, uh title because to me, a mother is more than just someone who has birthed a child. To me, it's more about the essence of the soul, the spirit. So for me, it's connecting to the energy of the Divine Mother and connecting to kindness and compassion and fierce protection of those they love, and being someone who is a loving guide, a loving teacher, to those around them. And yeah. So I choose to use the label conscious mother because that's what feels good to me. That's what resonates for me. Yeah, and I might also add too that on the topic of motherhood, I don't think, like I said, I don't think you need to be a biological mother of a human child to embody a mother, or to use the label mother. I also don't think you necessarily even need animals or to care for anything within your home to be a mother. Again, it feels very much related to the essence of connecting with the Divine Mother, the divine feminine energy that is kindness, compassion, loving, nurturing, fierce protection, loyalty, like just very like creative, like a very loving presence of those that she, chooses to give to. I love that you call your your guru Baba. My partner calls me Babushka. So I am, which is another name for, it's either like a Russian or Polish grandmother. And I love being called Babushka. I think our grandparents, I have an old soul, old spirit. And I think our grandparents, their way of living is just so, like, by the time you get to like grandparents age, their way of living is great. I've had people, whenever I tell them like what I do in my free time, which is usually puzzles, I have a bunch of plants, I might go on walks with the dogs, go spend some time in the garden, I do crochet and other types of arts and crafts at times. And I've had people be like, well, what are you gonna do when you get older? I'm like when you're a grandparent or old, and I'm like, I'm living it up, baby. Like this is the life. They were onto something. I am the hustle culture. I'm all right. I've adopted slow living right now, and it's enjoyable. Welcome back to the chat, Moonflower Orchid. I love all the different names we use for relatives too, because I would call my grandfather, one of them, Bappa, which is close to Baba. Yeah. Also, for anyone that's new and just tuning in, I am doing readings. They're on an intuitive basis, and so you would join the queue if you consent to my consent statement, and uh, I'll tune in and see if we're in alignment and what kind of offering is coming through for you. So, otherwise, I'm happy to just sit here and chat. I'm enjoying these kind of questions and chatting about life, about spirituality, about love, about, you know, being kind human beings. I did create a TikTok, and I don't know how I feel about that yet. And as I say that, I realize that I don't think I put that on my on my profile. Hold on, I can do that real quick. Perhaps, mayhaps. I've always been kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't say totally against TikTok. It's just, I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's fine. But I made one, and so I'll be adding some shorts or videos there. I was like, I might as well do it. Do the damn thing. I'm already posting everywhere else. I found a way to make it easy for me to post there, so we out here. We doing it. Alright. Dun da da. Oh, wrong thing. Almost got it. Give me just a second. There we go. I have added my TikTok to my socials thing. Yeah. What question you got for me today, Moonflower Orchid? How can I make my mom realize that she's harmful or harming others or being mean to them when she's incapable of feeling it? You can't. And I know that's hard to hear because I know, like, or I can feel in your, well, hold on. I know that's hard to hear because from our time chatting together too, it's like your soul wants to help. Your soul wants to guide and teach others as well. And that's a beautiful gift that you have. But you ultimately change can't change someone else, and you can't make them realize something that they're not ready to realize. All you can do is let them be who they are and learn to love them in whatever way feels the most resonant for you to share your love and who you are with them. Yeah. It's it's a lesson I had to learn for myself as well. I definitely relate to that. And learning to let go of control and learning to let go and let people be who they are. Honestly, what I have noticed in my own life and my own relationships is when I've stopped seeing the people for the harm that I thought that they were doing, or stopped seeing them for the negative behaviors I thought that they were exhibiting, and I decided to choose love and be like, okay, what goodness do they what goodness do they have? What loving memories do I have of them, and like helped myself rewire basically my own brain around the viewpoint of them and rewire and give and assume positive intent. That's what helped. That's what shifted things for me. I had to do that for both my parents, to be honest. Um, I had a bad relation, or well, I had developed a really strong negative viewpoint of my dad for a while there, and then even my mom. Um, the dad one was probably bigger for me, but one of the ways or one of the things that helped me was, and it's not, I will say that this, if you have a really negative viewpoint, it probably won't feel very good initially, uh, as you're starting to choose love, because you're letting go of these like beliefs that you've clung to, and sometimes it hurts to let go of that identity that you've kind of built up around yourself and of that person. But it does feel good on the other side of it, I will say. But the activity I did was every night before bed for with my dad. I did it for I think about 2 to 3 weeks. It was like it was actually around this time last year that I did it. Um, but it was like every night before bed, journal however many things you can think of that are positive memories between you and that parent, or like things that you loved about them throughout your childhood or your experience with them, just like throughout your entire life. And over time, as you like build this really big list of all the things that all the happy memories and all the love that you've shared, suddenly that story that you've been telling yourself about, whatever it is that they did or however it is they harmed you or harmed others starts to fade. Okay, so you said something crazy happened between you all, but you prayed and she changed, but she's still hurting others. Hmm. You can also be an example for your mother in how you treat others and how you stand up for others. So even if you can't change her directly, you can be her light, her example of, what behavior you want to put and like what love you want to put out into the world, and she will start to see that and start to notice it. It might stir up some other stuff within her. I got that with my mom too. But over time, it will, or it um, can help. Mm. That sounds like a boundary for you. Then, if she's cruel and wants you to criticize with her, it's like the next time she starts to go down that kind of rabbit hole, instead of, I don't know what you're doing, or what your response has been, but a response to try would just be like, I'm not going to engage with that kind of conversation anymore. I love you, but I don't view those people that way, or I don't want to engage in this type of conversation. Mm. Yeah, good, good. If you're not engaging with it, that's good. But potentially using your words. I don't know. Are you using your words, or are you just kind of like staying silent? I guess that's an important question. next? I was gonna say, hmm, if you're staying silent, that could be a potential of she thinks you're still supporting it in some capacity, or at least subconsciously. Maybe she's not doing it consciously. But if you're speaking up, I think that would be a firmer guiding light of like, hey mom, I love you, and also I don't want to have these conversations. Like I don't want to, you know, I don't want to gossip about others. I don't want to be criticizing others. Like I want to honor each other for the love and beauty. I'm like, no, look at how beautiful she is. Or look at how, good for them. Yeah, you could. It's funny, but it's like you could fight that with kindness, and honestly, where it comes up where, because my mom, I think it's just that generation. That's what they learned. That's how everyone treated each other, and it's just really easy for our mother's generation to be hypercritical of one another, and it's sad, and that's something that in order to fight it we have to fight. It's like in order to combat that is like we have to change the narrative. Uh we have to show them that there are different ways to respond. And so if someone is being critical about others and it's like it's repeated and you're like, okay, and you're like, you know what, I love that for them. Like that, whatever they're doing, like that's great. That job that they got, good for them. I'm proud of them. Or whatever that is they're wearing, like, wow, she looks so full of joy in wearing whatever she's wearing today. Like, so be that example for your mom. And over time, it'll take time, but over time it'll start to shift. And yeah. Your father thinks changing his outside can fix his life, never looking like how they are inside. So like basically changing his physical appearance versus his emotional state. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's a shift we have to make over time. It's a shift we have to make as a generation. It's a shift that it takes leading by example. It's like doing the work ourselves and then leading by example, that you can love yourself, you can love your body, you can love your heart, your soul, your mind. And it starts with loving yourself first for who you are, and then like pouring into others. And just being kind and compassionate, because we all have different things that we went through growing up. We all have our own childhood trauma, past life trauma, things that have been passed on to us from like generational trauma. Like we all got it. And it's both a blessing. Well, I'll just say it is a blessing to be able to be a sensitive individual, because you can connect with one another. You can connect with the pain that others have gone through, and also be the light in their life to help spark their own light. Do I have more I want to say on this topic? Yeah, I feel like there's just like this message of we're we're all humans. We're all just out here learning and growing in our own way. We all have our own path that we're on. And so learning to be kind and compassionate to one another and recognizing that, what how someone acts or behaves towards you isn't a reflection of you and your soul, but it's a reflection of what's going on internally for them. So I invite you to detach from the need to control others. We all have 6 basic needs. And these come from there's some research behind it, but then like Tony Robbins, they kind of rebranded it, but the six human needs are certainty, uncertainty, significance, love and connection, growth, and why am I blanking on the last one? Certainty, uncertainty, significance, slash growth, love, connection. Is it contribution? I'm blanking on the sixth one, but that's okay. I'll come back to it later. But in trying to control others, you're trying to meet your need for certainty. Because you're like, I want it to be this way. And that's totally natural. It's totally normal. It's totally something that I have done myself. And the gift and the challenge and also the blessing happens or like comes whenever you learn to be like, all right, let the person do whatever it is they're gonna do. They're gonna do it anyway. You don't have control. All you have control over is yourself. All you have control over is your mind, your body, your spirit, and whatever it is you do, how you act, where you go. That's all you can control. That's it. And so when you let people be themselves and you let them just do whatever it is that they want to do, you will find so much more peace in your life and so much less anxiety when it's like, you know what? Remind yourself that you're safe in your body, you're safe wherever it is that you are in your space, if that feels true to you, and that, you have the resources internally to navigate whatever it is that comes up, and that you have the strength and the courage to speak up when you need to speak up, and you have the kindness and compassion in your heart to give that to those that need it, and to give that to those that you want to share that with. So let your parents be your parents. They're human too. Let them be human. Let them make mistakes just as you make mistakes. And let them figure out their own lessons. They gotta learn their lessons their own way. There's no amount of preaching to anyone that is going to convince them to do something that they just don't want to do. So let them be them. Let yourself be you, and go be happy. Go find joy. Go be love. Uh, you got this. Welcome to the chat, DFX Hots. Hello. You watched a streamer who went to a Tony Robbins session. Yeah, I I appreciate, like, I've gone to one event of Tony Robbins, and I also did some training through one of his coaching programs. I've learned a lot from I've learned a lot from him and from the stuff he has to offer. So I think there is value there. Use your own discernment and what resonates with you, obviously. But he's built the brand that he's built and reached the people he's reached because of you know what he's got to offer, and the stuff that he does works. So, hi, matey. How's your hook be hanging? My hook be hanging upright and ready. How's your hook be hanging? That's funny. All right, let me tune in and see what kind of offering is coming your way, DFX. Your hook is placed on your arm, ready to support you on your scavenging journeys. Amazing. I love that. It doesn't feel like we're in alignment to do a reading for you today, DFX Hots. I appreciate you stopping in though, but it doesn't feel like now is the time. That doesn't mean a future time won't be. So I do invite you to come back and stay connected to the channel, but just at this moment it feels like, I don't know, not yet. Ooh. You are chaos now? Okay. Take a few deep breaths. Connect with your body. Yeah. Yep. Well, I'm sending you love and light as you navigate your internal chaos and internal void. I believe in you. I'll say if there's anyone else new coming in here too. I'm doing readings on an intuitive basis, so it's when you join in the chat, it adds you to my little queue, and then I tune in to see if we're in alignment to do a reading today, and if so, what kind. They're usually anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Thank you for stopping in. Like I said, come back again. Check in another time, but My readings, so they're, like I said, they're anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. They are spirit led, so it's if I get if I get the yes, we're in alignment to do a reading today, I'll ask what kind, and so it could be a oracle card, it could be a tarot card, it could be a little mini trapped emotional clearing, or it could be more like a full 15-minute mini like psychic channeling session. But a lot of what's been coming through this week have been trapped emotional clearings and uh, like tarot or actually oracle cards, which I think is probably just to help me do some reps because I'm doing an event this weekend that are using, or like that's the offering that I'm bringing into that space, or I'm feeling called to bring into that space. So it feels like that's what's kind of in the energy in the collective right now, is just kind of trapped emotional clearings and maybe some oracle cards. But if you do want more of a like a personal reading, like a full 30-minute one, I have different offerings on my website to do like a private reading off of stream. And there's a variety of options there depending on what you're looking for. When I just when you put your name in the queue, I ask like, are we in alignment to do a reading? Like, am I in alignment to do a reading with DFX? And the answer was no. There wasn't much more information. I don't get a ton of information, or I didn't really ask for too much clarity. It's just like, are we in alignment today? No. Um, doesn't like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean we won't ever be. It's just maybe just not this moment. Yeah. Yeah. I trust my team to, or my spirit team to help me just make sure that I'm not reading someone whose soul might not be consenting, or it's not the right fit at the moment. And so, like I said, all the parties got to align to make sure that it's right. Because I've definitely tried to read people before when I didn't do that, and Spirit likes to play with my technology when that happens, and so they crashed my stream, or it crashed my stream uh, twice because I tried to do it. I didn't learn my lesson the first time because I didn't realize that's what was happening. So now I don't do that. Now I check in. Yeah, it was definitely interesting. It was to experience that one. I do think I'm gonna take just a couple minute break here just so I can run to the restroom, get some more water, eat a snack. Uh, so I will be right back. I'm back. Oh, let's just check in and see. I will say I do value the energy of the space too. So if you're not into spirituality, or uh, if you're not into spirituality or learning about psychic abilities and talking about energy transmutation and all that, this might not be the stream for you. So I invite you to go in peace. But I'd like to keep this a loving, warm environment. So that said, I'm just gonna sink in and see just kind of what's coming, what might want to be shared next. I'm kind of feeling some heartbreak coming up. Um, Heartbreak that's wanting to be honored, that's wanting to be felt. So with that said, I think I'm gonna do a short little meditation here. I'll put my timer on if that works, and we'll just do like 15 minutes. Just a short little meditation to bring in some love, bring in some light, and kind of help ease this heartbreak that's coming into the space. Hold on, is this working? Nope, that didn't update. Give me just a second. Okay. Okay, now we're working. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're just gonna do a little meditation, a little 15-minute meditation, because I'm feeling some heartache, some heartbreak coming into the space. So if you're here, then that is you kind of giving your consent to receive in this space. So if you do not wish to receive the meditation, the love and light that's kind of coming through this meditation, now would be your time to peace out. All right, let's get started. I invite you just to start with a few deep breaths here. Sinking in to your seat. Maybe the bed underneath you. Chair underneath you, the couch underneath you. Connecting with your breath, connecting with the sinking into your seat, feeling the gravity holding you here, holding you in this space. Starting to feel the top of your head, your crown chakra. Starting to feel it open up. It's like a flower is blooming. Or maybe it's a doorway creaking open. Starting to feel that light pouring in top of your head, into this flower, into the door. Begin to imagine this light is pouring down through you. Through your brain, through your skull, through your ears. Maybe it's coming out your ears. Maybe it's coming out your nose as if you just got water up your nose. Just light just pouring out of you, pouring in and out of you. It's divine light, divine love. In this humorous way, the light is showing up today. If it feels silly, if you want to giggle, I invite you to giggle. Light pouring down, continuing its travel down your neck. Maybe you take a stretch here, roll your neck. Just allow that light to work into every little crevice, between every little joint. Moving that light down as we move into your collarbone, clavicle, into your heart, to the center of your chest, expanding into your rib cage, into your lungs. Into your stomach, into your liver, your pancreas, your kidneys, traveling down into your digestive system, into your colon, into your large and small intestine, everywhere. Don't leave any organ, any area untouched by the light. Bringing that light down now into your pelvic floor, into your reproductive organs, whether they are wholly there or only partially, honoring the space between your hips. Honoring this space between your hips. Bringing that light in, pouring it down as it starts to melt down the back of your thighs. Maybe you tense and release your thigh muscles here. As the light pours down into your knees, into your kneecaps, into the lymph node or areas behind your knees. Clearing all the dense energy that no longer serves you, filling the space with light. Bringing that light down into your calves, to your shin bones. Travels down into your ankles, to your heels, sweeping its way across the arch of your feet, or the flatness of your feet, towards your toe knuckles and your toenails, and the space between your toes. And feeling that light go into the ground, blasting out whatever does not serve you to be composted by Mother Earth, whatever serves the highest and best. You are a clear channel for light to flow. Just give yourself permission here to tune in and allow yourself to receive this light that's pouring into your being. Then with each inhale, breathing in more and more light and coursing it through every inch of your body. Going into your arms and your shoulders and your elbows. To your forearms, your wrists. Feeling the warmth reach the palms of your hands as they travel out. The light travels out into your fingertips. Underneath your fingernails. Between every joint, every knuckle. Every little bone and cartilage here. Feeling that divine light pouring in with each inhale. Exhaling that light down into the ground as the grounding energy of Mother Earth pours into you. We're so held. You're so supported. I invite you to get your hands involved. Feels comfortable and accessible to you. I invite you to bring your attention and your awareness to your body, your hands, the light that's pouring through you. And first and foremost, I invite you to bring your hands to your thighs. Just connect here, feeling the light, the warmth pouring out of your hands and into your upper thighs, whether it's the fabric or the bare skin or the blanket, whatever's lingering here. Just notice the textures. Notice the sensations, nice and slow. Don't rush. No need to rush. Just pouring so much love and light right here into your thighs. Maybe it's the back of your thighs or the top of your thighs. But giving this area some love, some support. Make sure you keep breathing, deep breathing, whatever feels comfortable to you and your body. And when you're ready, you can start to move that light in your hands down your legs, going down over the knees, your shins, and the back of your calves, connecting every nerve ending on your toes and your feet, pouring the love and the light that's coming out of your hands into every inch of your being. Switching legs, doing just the same. Maybe more, maybe less. On the other side, whatever feels natural to you. Bringing that light up your belly, up your chest, up your heart, over your chest, over your breasts, over your rib cage and your lungs and your low back and hips. This is your body. You, only you have control over your body. Traveling over your hands and your arms. That feels exciting, feels welcoming. Notice the texture in the palms of your hands. Are your hands soft? Are they calloused? Are they dry? Are they cracked? No judgment here, just noticing. Do you feel the warmth between your hands? As you bring that warmth up to your face and up to your neck. Just spreading that love and light and warmth all over your being. When you're ready, only when you're ready, invite your hands to come up to the top of your head, where you open that flower, open that door, and close the door, close the flower, close the stream of divine light that was pouring in. Take a few grounding breaths here as you connect with yourself and connect with your space and your surroundings. Thanking yourself for showing up here, your time, and the source's gifts of light. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here for that. If this is your first time tuning in, I invite you to follow along, like, subscribe, all the things. Comment, let me know how that was, what you experienced. Again, thank you for receiving. Welcome back. I don't know if you're still here, but hi Jenny Vlogs, if it's not too late. If anyone is is new and tuning in, I'm doing intuitive offerings, typically readings of about 5 to 15 minutes. Um, and then I have a consent statement that goes through the chat every so often, just so you know what you're consenting to when I tune in. But they could be really anything that comes through, but I'm here holding the space for whatever that might be for you, and whatever that might be that might serve your highest and best that Spirit's bringing through. We'll be here for about another hour. I think. All right. Checking in to see what offering might be feeling like it's coming through next. If there's, like I said, if there's anyone that feels the call to join the queue and potentially get a reading, I welcome that. Otherwise, let me tune in and see what kind of messaging might be next. Okay. I feel like I need to bring up this card again. It came up at the beginning of the stream. There we go. I came up at the start of the stream, but it's the Ten of Cups, and I pulled it this morning with the collective reading, and it was upside down, but just this friendly reminder of filling your own cup first. There's a lot of energy pouring in, a lot of light codes, and I think that's funny given the fact that we just did a very light based meditation that came through. And so making sure you're taking care of yourself first and foremost, grounding in this energy, grounding in the light codes, the light that is pouring into you, and giving yourself what you need. Finding balance between the creative energy that's coming in, the inspiration, and some of the anxieties that are being worked out, and balancing that with taking action and also resting and nourishing yourself. So make sure you're taking care of yourself. Stay grounded. Stay grounded, folks. Stay grounded. All right. All right. I feel like I need to set this timer for 15 minutes and put it on screen. So we're just gonna set the timer and just kind of feeling what message is coming through. It almost feels like the staying grounded card that I just did was, I mean, it's a message for the collective, but it's also probably like a little bit of a message for me too. Because as soon as I set this timer, it was like, oh, I just feel this like it was almost like, and the light codes or the light is now pouring in. And so it's almost, this is feeling like my team is like, all right, well, you're gonna get a 15-minute session now too, instead of just channeling for others. It's a 15-minute session of just like the light pouring into me, because that's what I'm feeling right now. Is I just feel like I'm receiving a lot of love, a lot of warmth, a lot of you know, joy and relaxation and nourishment. I think that's, and uh, it's making me a little bit sleepy, to be honest. I occasionally, or at least when I used to, maybe they're like, oh, just shut up. uh, yeah, be an interesting stream, but I'm just gonna sit here and receive. Mm. Yeah, I'm just sitting here receiving, and it feels like I am being. I'll share kind of the conversation that I'm having with my team, but they're pouring in a lot of love and light into me because I actually feel some heartbreak coming up for myself, and I'm kind of checking in about that. See, if this is a current life or a past life. Feels like a past life. Do I need to know more about it? Yes. What do I need to know? Someone harmed you. Do I need to know more about that? Yes. How did someone harm me? Or what more can be shared about how this person harmed me? I'm hearing Jeremiah harmed me. Or Jeremiah harmed you. Do I need to know more? Yes. How did Jeremiah harm me? Betrayed you? How? Betrayed you with another? I know who. Yes, who did he betray me with? uh, Betrayed me with Natalie. Okay. Okay. Cool. Do I need to know more? Yes, what do I need to know? He didn't mean to. Okay. Is there anything else I need to know here? Yes, what else do I need to know here? He's sorry. And he asks for your forgiveness. Just okay. Okay. Do I need to know any more? No. It's safe to clear. Yes. And I invite my team to help me clear this past heartbreak, betrayal between Jeremiah, Natalie, and myself. Go in peace. Be forgiven. Is there any other trapped emotion that's wanting to come forward right now? Yes, what is that? Anger, irritation. Is that from a current life or past life? Past life. Do I need to know more? Yes, what do I need to know? It's also from the situation with Jeremiah. That, makes sense. Do I need to know more? What do I need to know? He's sorry. He asks for my forgiveness. Fascinating. Truly fascinating, this experience is. Okay, we keep going. Okay. Okay. Am I ready? Is it safe to be cleared? Then I call upon my team of angels, spirits, and guides to help me clear this anger from a past life, the pain that Jeremiah caused, that Natalie caused. Send forgiveness. Is there anything else that's coming up that's ready to be cleared? No? Okay. Are there any other messages you want to bring forward for me this time? Yes, what other messages you want to bring forward to me in this space? You are loved. 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 Ugh. Okay. Ugh. Just checking in to see if there's anything else that wants to be shared. What else might come forward? What else wants to come forward? I was just trying to use discretion, but it was the message that is wanting to be shared and is okay to be shared in this space is Jeremiah will find Natalie again. And I may or may not be being guided to share that information with her. We'll see. Fascinating. I've never done work for myself on stream before in that capacity, so that was new. That was interesting. Hold on while I just kind of integrate all of that. I laugh because it's a coping mechanism. I laugh because it's easier to laugh than cry for me. Yeah, that was quite a message, quite a reading for myself that just came through. I was just saying, oh, when did I say it earlier in the stream today? I don't remember if I said it earlier. I think I said it earlier in the stream today. How there was a name of a person, a past life lover, that came to me when I was doing some clearing a couple weeks ago. I threw it in the fire, and I did some work to cut the cord there, and there that name was Jeremiah. Like, it's not someone I actively know in this life, or at least it didn't feel like it. But I felt like there was just like a cord that needed to be cut there. And I've done all of that. But I do have a good friend in this life named Natalie. And funnily enough, we chatted recently, and I felt called, and she was open to receiving, doing one of these like mini energy clearings. And then shortly after doing her energy clearing, or like trapped emotion clearing, like last night, I myself felt called to clear some more, or like do a trapped emotion clearing on myself outside, in which some past life heartbreak came up with her, and the feeling of betrayal. And I didn't really get a ton of details at that time about it. It's like, all right, let's clear that out. And I messaged her this morning, and I was like, we cleared it. We're good. And I got a message from her right before I started streaming today. And then now to have this message just come through, and this trapped emotional clearing, and like seeing the ties there. One, it sort of makes sense, but two, it also is just like, well, shit. And I say, well, shit, because in my clearing and in my detachment and everything, I like sent out a message to, whoever this Jeremiah person was, and I was basically like, this is you. Go in peace, go with love, go enjoy, but don't contact me. Don't let me know that this is you. I was like, I don't need to know. Just go in peace. I'm happy now. And yeah. And so now to have this and be like, well, you could potentially find my friend again. Like, well, that kind of puts a little wrench in the whole go in peace, don't contact me, because I'm very close with this friend. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna come of that. But that's what I feel like I'm processing at this exact moment. Is just, I'll probably reach out to her and be like, I got a message if you're open to receiving. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I won't share without her consent, obviously. But unless she somehow tuned in today and was just here, I don't know. If she was, hey girl. But if she wasn't, then yeah. Fascinating. Really, truly fascinating. Yeah, that's what I got. And I felt like I needed to pick up a card and cut the deck. And the card that came through, or is coming through right now, is number 20, Feast of Plenty. Choices and their consequences. Oh, and I feel this just like sharp pang come through right on this like right side of my head. And I'm pausing because I am feeling such discomfort. I'm just trying to check in with myself to like make sure this is a source message or a message meant to be shared and not a my higher self is just kind of butthurt wanting to come through. um, I shouldn't say butthurt, but just trying to check in that it's a soul message and not a wounded a wounded spirit message. And it feels like I identified that correctly. I think this was about to be a wounded message. Because yeah, when I first saw that, it definitely was more of a it was definitely more of an ego message wanting to be more sharp or cutting towards the clearing that I just had. But as I'm looking at it now and I've kind of breathed through that quick tension, it feels more hopeful now. It feels, instead of choices and their consequences being finger pointy, it feels more like, it feels more divine of, everything happens for a reason. We have free will. We can make our choices that we want and make the best of it from whatever comes. And I'm really highlighting the power of 2 and 0, of like a union and new beginnings. And to me, this feels more resonant with, instead of my initial reaction, which was, like I said, more of a wounded reaction of finger pointing. This feels more like a new beginning and a blessing for me and my new my new divine connection. It's not really new, but like in letting go of this past one or past live one, uh, and just sinking into the union that I have now with my husband. So yeah, this feels blessed. This feels, I keep getting highlighted to this bee, and I just keep feeling like the birds and the bees. Uh, and that's just kind of bringing up different feelings of, I want to say fertility, but that doesn't necessarily mean children. That could mean, you know, like birthing new projects, birthing new things. But there's like this fertile energy here, and almost like this like divine warriors of the light energy. And the swords are really giving me a lot of strength and fighter energy of like, yeah, we got this. Mm, yeah, a lot of light. I feel really drawn to this, like the bee in the light. Feels good. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you to the deck. Thank you to the spirits. Thank you to Source for helping me clear what's no longer of service and make space for what's meant to be, what's coming, what's here. I welcome this new beginning. I welcome this union that I have with my husband, and just letting be what is meant to be, come and just mm, enjoy life together. Took a lot to get here. Not gonna lie. Definitely was not an easy road, but it was a beautiful road. So, thank you. and it's 3:33 in my time zone. Mm. uh, I love it. I haven't been getting 333 as much, but there was definitely like the 333 angel number is just so mm, good for me. It's so good for me. It's such a good feeling when I get that one. I'm like, after all of that, I'm like, I really want to message my friend. She'd be like, hey girl, I had a message come through. Are you open to receiving? Probably as soon as this is done, I'm gonna be like, okay, I got something. Yeah, good. Good stuff, folks. Good stuff. If you're just tuning in, I'm just wrapping up a reading for myself that came through, which was fun. And if you're interested or feeling the call to get a reading, I invite you to join the queue. You can use the command consent to check on my consent statement, just so you know what it is you're consenting to when you join. Very, very big on consent here. I want to make sure I'm not tapping into anyone who doesn't know what they're signing up for, because a lot of my stuff is very energy transmuty. Thank you for the follow, Rose. Glad to have you here. Welcome. It's good to have you. I love new chatters. I was getting new faces, but what's this chat room about? All things love. So I'm here to spread light, love, kindness, compassion. I offer intuitive readings, so they can be anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. It's basically if you're feeling called to get a reading, you can read my consent statement, which is, I can drop in chat for you. You can read the consent statement, but basically I use Reiki and I tune into Spirit Source and our teams to bring forth whatever's in the highest and best for you in this moment. So I'm often used to transmute energy, and I do that through the power of Reiki. Because without using Reiki, it was going through my body, and that was a lot. So now using the healing power of the universe, of Reiki, of love and light, to just help you wherever you are in your soul's journey, in whatever way Spirit calls me to. So what Reiki practice are you learning? Is it like Holy Fire? Is it UCUI? I don't quite remember how to pronounce that one, even though that's the one that I'm certified in. I think it's UCUI. Usui. Either one. I think there's also other types of Reiki, but those are the two that I'm most familiar with. I also love to know just, what time zone are people tuning in from? It always amazes me just how far apart we can be, but how beautifully connected we can be in this shared space, and spirit, and our spirit teams guiding us all together. I'm in Eastern time zone in Kentucky, so it's 3:37 where I'm at, almost 4. I'll be signing off here in about 23 minutes, 25 minutes. Oh, take care of what you gotta take care of. Sending you love and light. All right, that said, I probably have time for one or two more readings. If there's anyone that wants to come forward, anyone feeling called to, release some trapped emotions, maybe get an oracle card or two, whatever pops out, maybe a tarot card. Just receive whatever is in your highest and best for today. I want to say don't be shy, but I also feel like that might sound a little creepy. So kindly, don't be shy. Or in as non-creepy way as I possibly can say, don't be shy. Allow yourself to receive. It'll be good too, because by the time we're done working here and by the time I'm done working on like the highlights afterwards, I think my little tea candle will probably be burnt out, which I like. I like having, it's like a perfect amount of time for me. It's like, okay, once the candle's gone, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Let me see if I can. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe? I don't know. Okay. I was just making sure I got my ducks in a row over here. Learning technology is fun. I don't remember, there was someone who popped in, I think it was Smasher who popped in the other day, that was talking about Discord, and that kind of planted a seed. I haven't made a Discord channel just yet, but I feel that there is a use and a place or space for potential Discord to come in. So we'll see. There's definitely some seed plantings happening about being able to build a community of other beings who are wanting to be loved and wanting to live a heart-centered life, to come together. So that is outside of Facebook. No shade to Facebook in particular. It's just I just feel that's kind of being moved away from. At least that's what I've noticed. Not a ton of people go on there for just casual chatting. It's more like marketplace, and I keep up with our neighborhood on there and events, like local events. We'll see. We'll see what comes of it. And if you are new, one of the things that I do very much stand for, I stand for consent, and I stand for boundaries when it comes to spreading love and kindness and all of the things. It's just like it starts with consent, and it starts with boundaries. And one of the tools that I love that changed my life was starting a boundary book. So I keep my boundary book on my desk. I had when I first started it, I probably only added a couple boundaries like here or there. Like there were some I got started with and like that was good. But then at some point in the last month or so, I've been, I don't know, as things have been coming up, I'm like, ooh, that's a new boundary. That's a new boundary. And I've just been putting it in the book. let me tell you, it feels really good to put it in the book and just know it's written down. It's out of my mind. Even after I like write it down, it feels like a weight's been lifted. I had one boundary this past weekend. I was getting really nervous going to a family event because I'm really connected to children, and I know I'm really connected to like your inner child. And I know children are just like open beings, and so that's why it's really important as like as the parent of a child to be, especially the feminine partner, like the mother of the child or the female guardian of the child. And I say female, it's more of just like whoever is more tapped into their intuition and spirit, to be the like energetic protector of the child, of your children, because of how open they are. And so even like creating a boundary book for your children is really important. That said, I myself know that I could potentially have picked up, young spirits, or they can be communicating with me. But I made a boundary in my book that was basically, I was like, no children between like the ages of 0 and 16 are allowed to, communicate with me energetically without my permission. Well, not without my permission, without their parent or guardian's permission. And oh my gosh, I set that boundary and I had so many sensations happening as like whatever spirits that were with me that I didn't know or wasn't that aware of were like all leaving. Like I was coughing. My poor cat. I love I love my animals. I hadn't had my window open when that happened. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a release, but I set that boundary, sent that up, and then as that energy was leaving and clearing, I was coughing a ton, and the next thing I know, one of my cats, who's my like spiritual protector cat, poor guy, like he threw up, and I think he just kind of got like a little like an energetic rebound, I guess, from the space, from everything leaving, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, buddy. Like it wasn't even a fur ball; it was just like, just a little mucus or whatever. But I was just like, I'm sorry, buddy. And I went and opened the window and like cleared the space. But I was like, damn, I didn't realize how much that was like holding on to me. So that at least that felt good to me, because even if there are people that haven't set boundaries for their young ones yet, I know myself that I am not going to tune into someone else's child without their permission, and I won't do it on accident because I have that boundary written down. And so that makes me feel better. And that's also, even showing up here, the consent statement is making sure you're at least 16 years of age or older to tune in. Because there's some level of consent and protection with parents and guardianship and everything else that it's like up until a certain age, your parent or your guardian is ultimately your guardian of your energy, your guardian of your physical being. And so I honor that, I respect that. And I do have a rare exception in there for like emergency situations. There's like a child in danger, But I was like, this is a rare circumstance. Like, can't be. Yeah. All that to say, start you a boundary book. And if you want to check out my different boundary, like top 12 boundaries that I've used or like that to get you started, you can get the free guide. right there with the link in chat. Or if you want to read more about what Boundary Book is or check them out, there's also the link in chat. And I don't know if you all notice, but whenever you follow, there's that like little snowflake thing that pops up and then shoots out the cute little sparkles. That symbol that I'm using is actually a symbol that was given to me. It was gifted by Spirit in the use of Reiki. That is the power symbol of love. And that's that came through maybe 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, 3 months ago. But that was to it's to help with heartache, heartbreak. But just that's where it's typically used, is being placed on your heart. I keep one, I sell them as stickers, but I keep one on the back of my phone so I can take the power of love with me wherever I go. There's 2 different designs. And they come in 3 different sizes. So if you're interested in reading more about them too, I will also drop that link in chat. But it's like such a beautiful message too, of like creating this avalanche of love, because love is like a snowflake. We are all like snowflakes. We are so beautiful and unique in each of our own ways. But when we're combined together, we can become this avalanche, this like powerful force that can crush mountains, move mountains, smash the patriarchy. I say that a little tongue in cheek. I have other opinions there, but that's all right. Maybe another time. And the last thing I'll share while we're in this space together is my quiz. And this is a 10-question quiz I developed that uses it's broken down into mind, body, spirit, and it just allows you to check in with yourself and see where you might need more love in your life. And it prints out or displays, and you can save it as a PDF. A semi-custom response that breaks out kind of guiding resources that you can use to, give yourself more love. Areas you can explore. Some of them are free, some of them are paid, but they're links or topics for you to consider to explore next, or things to watch or things to listen to. It's just, there's a whole host of different offerings there. So, but they're all things that I myself have used, and they're all things that I found value in and wanted to share with others. And so it was easier / felt more aligned for me to share them as like the source of where I got them and honoring the people who brought that information to me than trying to pass it off as my own, because it's not my own. I got here, but I had many teachers along the way, and teachers in different ways, whether it was through courses, through movement, through watching documentaries, through researching, taking classes. Like that's my honoring of the different teachers and resources that got me here, and then the wisdom that they've been blessed with and have been able to share in their mission in life. So it's a beautiful gift. So if you feel called, I invite you to check in with yourself and see where you might need some more love, where you can give yourself more love, and what topics you might be willing to explore. All right. With that said, it feels like the space is closing, and it feels like it's all right to call it a little early today. just a couple minutes. And so I am going to sign off, I think. Just kind of wrap up, get myself a little snack. But I appreciate each and every one of you that has shown up today. Thank you for supporting me, supporting the stream. Thank you to the 32 followers so far. Like, that's amazing. I'm blessed. Thank you. I'm so grateful. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. I'll be back on Friday. Hold on. Yep, I'll be back on Friday afternoon from 1 to 4. Doing probably similar. We might do a longer meditation and then some more psychic stuff or psychic channeling sessions, but that will be Friday. So, all right. Sending you all love and light as we end the stream here, and you enjoy the rest of your day. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, love.